Right, well, hello everyone. I'm Tim Hensel. I wear two different hats, one as Tim Hensel Photography, where I'm a photographer, as you might have reasonably worked out, and one as Tiny Robot, where I build websites and do business video and so forth, and of course build apps through MyPhotoApp. You may well know me from the MyPhotoApp Facebook page and so forth. If so, hi. If not, hello anyway. Nice to see you. And what I'm going to talk about today is how you can use MyPhotoApp in your business as a photographer to increase the number of referrals you get. This is a strategy which I've been using very effectively for the past couple of years now. MPA has been central to my development of what I do online, and the workflow I'm going to show you today kind of brings those two things together, my two hats together, if you like. So a nice bit of double hat mayhem for you. So to start from the beginning, for many years now, photographers have been giving their couples some kind of online gallery, a nice safe place, probably password protected, where you can sell prints and so forth, and people can share images. And that's all good, and it still performs a function, and I'm not going to reinvent the wheel just now, but I do believe that that is a little bit old-fashioned in today's ever-changing online world, and we're going to take it to the next level with MPA. So I shoot a decent number of weddings every year, and I do this for every couple. It's easy, it's not too time-consuming, and it fits in, I think, with a lot of what you probably already do. Takes a little bit of effort to set up, it's well worth it though, and I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do it. So why build wedding apps for your clients at all? Notice here I'm using Photoshop as PowerPoint because, say, I'm a photographer, so what did you expect really? It delivers extra value. It goes above and beyond what most of the other photographers in your area are probably doing. It marks you out as special, and in an oversaturated market such as wedding photography, that's really important. They love it. That's a good enough reason in itself, but they'll of course show it off to their friends, which can only be good in terms of generating referrals for you. They share it, same reasons. It generates leads, which is probably the main reason that most of you are watching this, for those of you who still sell some prints online, and I sell a few, I don't really concentrate on it, but it will generate some more print sales as well. So if your client has the app which you've built them on their phone, you would have thought that any interested people at the wedding, any people who are perhaps going to be getting married in the next year or two, something like that, are going to be paying attention to what the photographer's doing. And if you're delivering over and above what is expected, if you like, or what everybody else is doing, you're going to get noticed. And if you can put yourself in the frame and wow them with your service and with your images, then I believe you stand a good chance of getting that booking, and that's certainly been borne out to be the case for me. So what do? I build an app for each couple, which looks something like this. You can see it there on my sitting on my iPhone. Don't worry, I'm not going to do the whole presentation like this. And it starts out as one thing, and then you'll morph it into something else afterwards. This is a very useful web application called responsinator.com, whereby you can view what a website will look like on a phone, and that's particularly good if you're, of course, building apps, which you do on a computer, and want to see how they look on the phone. So basically the app will start out looking something like this, and after the dust has settled it will come back to looking something more like this. The reason being that the functionality that you need in the app before and after changes, although a lot of things will stay the same. There are important changes to make. And switching from the first to the second state is actually very easy, and takes maybe 5 minutes of your time once you get used to doing it. So there's not a huge amount of work involved once you've got this all set up. It's really important, I should note, that you change the same app, not build a new one for them. So you're not building two apps, one before app and one after app. Before, after. These are actually the same app. Otherwise, it gets really confusing, and people don't know which one to download and which one to look at. But anybody who's installed the before version, once that is updated to the new one, that will automatically update on their phones to the new version. Hence, I'm only going to show you how to build the one template and then how to modify it. I'm not going to give you two different templates because otherwise we're barking up the wrong tree there. So basically, before the wedding, I give them something which is going to be useful to them, I hope. Brides love looking at this countdown timer. This is, of course, a web app I've made for Joanna and Barry, who aren't a real couple. They've made this for display purposes. So I'm trying to give them something which is actually going to be useful to them and to their guests, to get them using it, looking at it, sharing it before the big day. So countdown timer there, information on the venue. There is an interactive map there, installed from Google Maps. And of course, this is the important bit. The sign up form. There's lots of different ways of doing this. Either through a form within MyPhotoApp, which is great. I do it slightly differently, using my my mass email system. I use ActiveCampaign. You might well use MailChimp or something else, but I embed one of their forms on here. And then anybody who's got the app and wants to see the photos afterwards, and why wouldn't they, will be able to sign up to do that right there from within the app. So I see this as a win-win. You're giving them something of real value, something they're going to love, and you're getting leads back. And it's not going to spam these people, but anyone that might be interested, someone who might be getting married at some point in the future, you're hopefully going to capture them and put yourself on their radar, put your hat in the ring. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by building that template, and I'm going to show you how to do it from scratch. So let's go into MyPhotoApp, and let's make a new app. Yeah, do remember to put the name in. You'll of course call it whatever your clients are called. And I'm assuming that you have a little bit of basic grounding in how to use MyPhotoApp here. You've probably built your first couple of apps already. If not, there's an awful lot of info in the knowledge base, and Jim and Kim are very helpful on the Facebook page as well. So this is my blank template. I've already got it set up for my business with my logo, my copyright info, and my contact buttons. So assuming that you've already done that basic setup stuff, we're going to move on from there. So the first thing we're going to put in, and this is pretty basic, is the title section, which is going to be the couple's names. So that's going to go under the contact buttons. And what should we call these guys? This is an app for. Let's give them nice sensible names, John and Sarah. I like this font called Railway, because that's what I use on my website. So continuity, branding, all that good stuff. And we're going to call this John and Sarah's wedding. There we go, lovely. So the next thing I'm going to put in is the countdown timer. Now there is a timer section within MyPhotoApp, but the one I like to use, and Jim suggested this himself. That's Jim Cook, the godfather of MyPhotoApp, and that's called Motion Mail. So go to Motion Mail app. I'm going to give you all these links at the end anyway, so don't worry. So we're just going to go to Create New Timer, and we're going to give the name of our couple, John and Sarah, and it's going to end obviously on their wedding date, which let's say is in let's say it's the 18th of August, which is a Saturday, and they may be getting married at 12:30. Set the time zone, obviously, for where you are, or more importantly, where your wedding is. I am in the UK, so I'm going to set that for London, and it's in English, so that's all good. You can set up the colours. That FF9900, that's my own orange that I like to use. You can use whatever you like. Let's have black text. And then you can choose the layout of your timer. I like this one with the circles. So that looks good to me. That black's possibly a little harsh. Let's just drop that back a bit, shall we? Okay, that looks good. So we're going to save that. And you see here it gives us the embed code, and you can just click on copy. Copy to clipboard, or of course, right click and copy, or Control C, or whatever way you like to copy stuff. And then we're just going to go back to MyPhotoApp, and we're going to click on Add Section, and we're going to get the HTML section, which is here. And then in the HTML, just drop that in exactly as it came from MotionMailApp. Now this is important because that won't be properly centered on the app, so you just need to put in a couple of little HTML tags. And don't worry, I'm not a programmer, but this stuff's really simple. So all you need to do is type center. Notice the what I consider to be incorrect American spelling, but still there we are. And then on the other side, so center at the beginning, surrounded by the chevrons there, and then after the bit of code that makes the timer, you just put center again, but with a backslash before it, like that. So that's all you need. And we're going to give the section a label so we know what it is later on. That doesn't appear on the app, it's just so you can find it in the builder. So I'm going to call that time. And there it is. So notice that this has got a background here. I don't really like that. So I'm going to go back to my MotionMailApp dashboard here, and that one I've just built. Let's just find it. John and Sarah. There we go. And we're going to edit that because I don't like that background color. I want it to be white like the background of my app. So we can save it, and it's successfully saved. The embed code actually stays the same. So all you need to do there is, if you just refresh the page, don't worry, it keeps it all saved. And you can see we've got a nice white background now, which I think looks much better. I think this title text is a little bit close to the timer, so I'm going to show you a really useful section that you can create and then use in all your apps. So again, HTML, edit it. I'm going to call it break, and all it is this little, just like that. So the chevrons again, \br, and that just is an HTML break. And if I pop that in there, you can see we've got a nice little gap there, which I think looks much better. So the next thing we're going to put in is the map, the venue map for the couple. So let's just go back over to our browser and open up Google Maps. And then we're going to put in the actual name of the venue where they're getting married. So for the purposes of today, I'm going to put in the Hythe Imperial, which is a nice wedding venue hotel quite near me here on England's south coast. And what we want to do is get the code to embed that in our app. So you need to click on the share icon, then click on embed map. And that's it. So this code here, it's already selected for you. Just right click, copy that, back to MyPhotoApp, and another HTML section. So you can see we're going to put this under the timer, which is where I like it to go. So we're going to edit the HTML section. You can see here why we start to label these, because we've got 3 in a row and you're going to get confused in the builder unless you know what they are. So I'm just going to call this map, apps or map, and then the HTML, just paste that in there, and that is going to create a real live Google map for them. There it is. Now you can see that is that's not quite right, because it's the wrong size. So what you need to do is you just need to make a quick edit of this code, and again, don't let this worry you too much. You can't break anything. Have a look through the code, and you can see the size of it is governed here by these numbers, width and height. Leave the height as it is, or change it if you feel like that. All you need to do is get rid of the width and put in 100%, and then it'll size itself to the device that they're viewing it on, which is obviously what you want. And there you go, that's much better. So the next thing we're going to add is just the details, the address and so forth of the venue. So go into add section again, and we're going to get a text section this time. And I want to put that above the map. Then I'm just going to open that up. Again, I'm going to label it, which is a good habit to get into. Venue details, let's call it. And then CT21 6AE. You could of course copy and paste that. I for some unknown reason decided to type it, but why not? And let's just grab their web address too, shall we? And then of course we're going to want to make that into a link. So I'm going to copy that, open that, paste in there. There we go. Should we give them a phone number as well? Yeah. 01303 267 441. 01303 267 441. Okay, that looks good to me. So let's save that off. Great, okay. So the only other thing I want to add in there is we might just put a little title that says the venue. What about that? Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. I might like another little gap between the venue address and the map there. So this break that we made earlier, I'm just going to duplicate that and just drop that there. Simple as that. There we go. Lovely. Okay, so we're getting on well with this. The next thing we need to put in, which is really important, is the sign up form. So the way I do that, I'm going to show you. There is more than one way to do this. You know, you could use, you could go in and get the form section from MyPhotoApp and get people to submit their email addresses and what have you that way. This is the way I've always done it, so I'm going to show you that. So ActiveCampaign, which is what I use. You might well use MailChimp or something else. are all pretty similar. Okay, so I'm going to create a new list. You can see here I've got lists for all the various weddings. So each wedding gets its own list. It's important to keep those separate, obviously, because you don't want to be sending out an email later on with the photos from the wrong wedding to the wrong guests. So we're going to make a new list, and we're going to call this Sarah and John's wedding. Just a little info on this is the stuff that's required. It's pretty boring. You signed up to see Sarah and John's wedding photos. Okay, done. So we've made our list. We're now going to go and make the form. So click on new form there. Sarah and John's wedding sign up form. And there we go. So the action is they want to subscribe to a list, and then all we need to do is find their list here. Sarah and John's wedding, that's it. Then we can go in and edit the info here, so I'm just going to call this I want to see the photos. And again, just between those paragraph tags, I'm just going to put please enter your so I can or whatever you like, but you know, whatever your appropriate messages you want to put in there, and then we're just gonna the submit button. Okay, that all looks fine to me now. So that being done, we're going to go to integrate, and again see just like before, so we've got the embed code, and we're going to copy that by pressing Command and C or Control C on a PC, and back into MyPhotoApp. So again, you guessed it, an HTML section, and we're going to move this down under the map, and then I'm going to call that sign up form. Drop all of that in there. And there it is. Simple as that. So when somebody fills that in, it will register them on that specific list that we created for this couple. So you can build up a database of people from just that wedding who have asked to see the couple's wedding photos. Okay, we're really moving forward with this now. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to put an About Me section in. Now I've gone to all the trouble of building this. And anybody who's downloaded it on their phone, any guests, bridesmaids or whatever, I want them to be able to see what I'm all about. So I'm just going to put in a nice subtle About Me section. So I'm going to want to put this in as a page, so it's not all stuck on the first page of the app in their faces. So if you haven't used pages before, don't worry, these are very straightforward. So let's just whack that in there. And then go in and edit the page, and we're going to call it About Tim, which is me, and then add a section to this page. So first off, I'm just going to put my logo in, which is there. We've set that up before. I'm going to go through this bit fairly quickly, as you may well want to put different info or build your About Me page in a different way. whatever works for you. So here's one of my breaks. And then just a bit of what we'll politely call bull, I think is the term you like, about me. We're going to just speed this bit up now, so you don't have to watch me type all this nonsense. I'm just going to slow it down again here, and just going to show you how to make that into a mail to link, so they can actually, yeah, the buttons will be there, but I believe by publishing your email address, it just, it makes that information a little bit more clear to them, to the people who are using it. So click insert a link, and then we're going to type mail to : and then the email address with no spaces. Insert it, and that is now, somebody clicks on that, it will mail me. Okay, that's looking good. Contact buttons you'll have set up before, hopefully, so let's just whack those in there. There we go, very simple. Yeah, obviously you need to have set up the info in the contact buttons there for them to work. And then I've got a film about me that I made, which I quite like. So for people who might be showing an interest, I'm just going to put that in as well. So let's just put a video section, and obviously we need to give it the URL of the video. So I'm just going to hop over to Vimeo. Okay, so here we are in Vimeo, and this is me film, which I've got on my website, but I'm going to embed it here as well. So I'm just going to click the share button there, grab that link, and put in the URL. See, it's already pulled the title through from Vimeo. I'm just going to shorten that a bit because I think that's a bit long for embedding in that, but this works just as well with YouTube, Animoto and so forth. I like Vimeo personally. And let's save that off, and there's my This Is Me film. So okay, that's good. So that's my About Tim page. Again, these are all sections I added into the page, and that means that that stuff is not displayed here on the front of the app, which is of course what I want, because I don't want to ram it down people's throats, so to speak. I'd much rather those who are interested can go and find out about me. You will notice, of course, that the app has a menu in, so we've got the menu section. Now, if you haven't used the menu section before, again, it's very straightforward, and it's just going to list the various pages we've got. So you can see in my blank app setup that we started with, I had a home page bit to start with, in any case, and we've just put an About Tim page. So why don't we put some more pages in too, just so that the thing can be navigated more easily. So let's grab the page, and this is really showing you the other way to use pages, because what we did with the About Tim page was to put all the info actually in the page. Now if you don't put the info in the page, but just put it where you want it to go, it will just navigate and scroll to that part of the app rather than it being a separate discrete page that's got the information in. There's more info on pages in the knowledge base, but it's a good way to use them. So let's give that a name, and we're going to call that the venue. I'm not going to add anything to it, don't need to. And then the easiest way to do this is just to duplicate that and drag that down, and I'm going to dump that there just above the sign up form info, and we're going to give that a different name. I'm going to call it I want to see the photos. Okay. So looking good now. Only other thing I really want to add are the share buttons at the bottom. There we go. They've gone in there, so all I'm going to do is just move that down so they're just above the copyright, which is the last thing I want on there. And again, yeah, maybe, no, I don't need another break there, that's fine. So now that's easy for people to share it with each other. So a couple more bits of basic setup. Title of the app, we're going to call it Sarah and John's Wedding App. And then you want to go up here to layout settings and update the SEO info. So if somebody shares it on Facebook or somewhere else, just make sure it's got the right information there. So that's got the link to my website, and these people are called Sarah and John's Wedding App by, this is all in Kent, so let's just call it by Kent Wedding Photographer Tim Hensel. Enjoy the photos. I'm sure there's better SEO text you can write to go in there, but that's what's going to show up if somebody shares it online. So you know, just make sure that's right. Click save. Okay, that's all good. So I'm going to hit publish. And let's see what it looks like. So this is what it looks like on a computer, and it's pretty straightforward. And you can see the menu that we created. So the venue, that just scrolls you down to the venue section. And these are the pages we put in that didn't have anything in the pages. They were just to navigate to scroll. So that'll scroll you down to see the photos bit. But if you click on the About Tim section, and here we are in in my page, and there's my info, there's my video. That's all good. So I'm pretty happy with that. So we're just going to grab that URL, and then I just want to go into the Responsinator application and see what it's going to look like on a phone. You could of course open it on your phone, but for the purposes of making a video, that's not really going to work. So there's various different phones on here. I'm just going to scroll down. iPhone 628, so that's relatively standard. And we can see that looks pretty good. We can see the menu starts to make a bit more sense because it will actually scroll you to the appropriate bits. That's great. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. That's where we are with the app in its first state. So this is how you're going to first give it to your couple. I like to show these to them in person if you've got a client meeting with them. Build it up if you've got all the info, and actually show them how to install it on their phone, show them how to use it. They will love it, trust me. Bit of bonus content for you now, and this is something which I have not been using myself so far because it's a very new feature in MyPhotoApp, but it's something I'm definitely going to be adding this year, and this is only available on an elite level subscription, but Honestly, I believe this would pay for that many times over. And that is the dynamic text section. What that does is it allows the couple's guests to make comments, give them their well wishes right within the app. Now, I know people do that kind of stuff on Facebook and stuff, but really, honestly, something posted on Facebook, yes, they're going to read it, they're probably going to smile, and then it's going to get lost in the ether. And a few days or weeks later, they're not going to be looking at that. But if it's actually within their app, then they can carry those well wishes around in their pocket with them, and I think that's a really nice thing. It's important to put it in the before app, because while you're actually at the wedding, this is the state the app's going to be in. So you want people to be able to add those well wishes to the couple right then. So you need to put in the dynamic text section. We're just going to call it comments. You could call it something else if you wanted to, and we're just going to put please. This is actually the title which will appear on the app now. Please leave a message for Sarah and John. Once we've got the title of that section in, we want people to be able to leave their name so they know who the well wishes are from, and a prompt that comes up to tell them what to do. Leave your well and put the text for the submit button again, so just telling people what to do. Hit save. To make that dynamic text section functional, we also need to add a button in for people to use it. So I'm going to use a primary button, which is a nice big button, and I'm going to put that right above the dynamic text section that I put in there. And what you need to do is obviously the text, leave a message for Sarah and John. I'm just going to reduce the font size there so it all fits nicely on one line like that. And then what you need to put in the link box here is add in lowercase, and then the name of the dynamic text section that you created a minute ago, and that was comments with a capital C, because I gave it a capital C here, and it is case sensitive. Okay, so let's just wait for that to update. So there it is. That's not looking too good at the moment. So let's just go and change the button a bit. So I'm going to give the button a colour. That's my colour that I use. You could of course just pick a colour off there, and I like the text on that to be white. Okay, that looks good to me. So let's save that. And I probably want to move that just so it's just below the sign up form. And I'm just going to move the dynamic text so it still sits under the button there. Okay, that's looking good. Very last thing I'm going to do is just put another break in there just so it looks good. So I'm just going to pop that in between the sign up form and the button that I made. No, I don't like it there, so let's just dump that before the share buttons. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that, and then we're going to publish it and see what it looks like. So then if you click on the leave a message, my name isn't Time. Nice app. Have a great day. And you can see that the message has actually come up within the app there. So I'm just going to go over back to my Responsinator account here, and I'm just going to refresh that because we've updated the app. And you can see that's where the messages come up. And there it is. There's the wedding app in its before state. In part 2, I'm going to show you how to convert that after the wedding into the after app that they will love to keep on their phones and share. It's worthwhile just double checking everything at this stage. Particularly, I mentioned this earlier, make sure your SEO text is right and has got the right couple's names there. Very easy thing to forget. And the other thing that I would suggest you do is save this off as a template now, so that all your future weddings, all the work we've just put in today, which obviously took a little bit of doing, you're not going to have to do that every time, because you can just adjust it from this. So all we're going to do is going to click Save as Template, and we're going to call it Wedding App. It's got to be one word, hence using the underscore there. Template, save as new template. There it is. So we've created that as a template. So every time you want to make one of these for a different couple, you don't have to go through that whole build process. All you'll do is click on Create App, and then click on the template that we just made, Wedding App Template. I'm not actually going to do this because we've just done this. Give it a name, Barry and Kate, or whatever they are called. Create new app. Yeah, okay, so no spaces, I should know that. And you're all set to go and build your next app for your next couple. And obviously all you've got to do is go in and change the names, give them the new timer, put in the new venue and so on. But because you're not creating these sections now, all you're doing is updating the details. It's very much quicker and easier. I can do this in about 5 minutes now. Likewise, obviously you need to put in the new embed code for the map for this couple's venue, and you need to create their own list within MailChimp or ActiveCampaign or whatever you use. But that's really easy to do because you can just go in, duplicate the existing one, make it into the fresh list for this new couple, and just dump the code in there. So once you get the hang of it, it's really straightforward and easy. And as I say, it takes me about 5 minutes for each couple to make this. Maximum 10 if it's something complicated, if the map's a bit more complex or whatever. But you know, it's not a lot of time. The app icon at this stage, obviously I haven't got a photo of the couple to use. I will have later, and I'll show you later on about changing that. So I've just got my the short form of my logo in there, so that when it's installed it's got a nice image. So that, my friends, is that. That is the before app created. There it is. And in the next part of this video, I'm going to show you how to turn that into the after app after the wedding. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Tim Hensel, and I'll see you in the next video.